Hi, students. Pete Estabrook here. I just wanted to make a comment on something that's come up recently a few times in the context of lessons and my dealings with students. So I've been teaching for about 40 years. This is 2022. We're talking about fall. So I've been teaching trumpet privately for 40 years. And um, basically during that time, because of my own curiosity, my own wish to improve my playing, my own curiosity about brass and trumpet pedagogy in particular, I've had lessons with about 30 different teachers at this point. So what comes up periodically is that some students, they sort of get impatient with their progress, right? They're not following the prescription that I or maybe another teacher are giving them, and they're getting anxious about wanting things to happen faster than they are. And of course, they happen at the rate that they happen based on our methodology, the material that we're using, the equipment we're using, etc. A multitude of things affect the rate of progress, and generally, it's not linear. So the real underlying issue there is expectation. So that's something that we need to reroute and think about. But uh, at any rate, I think the real thing that I want to get to is that the reason that I've had the number of teachers that I've had is so that my students don't have to. I've distilled the pedagogy of these various brass schools, if you want to call it the Chicago Brass School, the Stamp School, Claude Gordon, Jerry Callett, Carmine Caruso, Roy Stevens. I've taken something from those and distilled it down. So my students, none of whom are at this point in time, you know, um, extremely high level professional players, or even aspiring to attend a conservatory, in other words, a private school, private music school. The level of student that I'm working at, there's really no need for that level of student to go out and think that they have to try to do what it is that I've done. Even if they're interested in being a teacher, my whole purpose in being a vessel for that information is to pass that along so that somebody doesn't have to go out and find 30 teachers and distill that information on their own. Of course, they can do that if they're interested in doing that. But for the most part, in my experience, up to this point at least, there's plenty of information. What's going on is expectation and impatience with the students that I encounter. So rather than running around and trying to take a lot of lessons from other people, it's really, for most, let's say, high school and college students, it's a good idea to just stick with your teacher, especially if they're a very experienced teacher. They've got a lot of experience under their belt, and go with what it is that they're saying and be patient, put in the work, take the time, and allow those changes to take place, rather than running around willy nilly, not doing the work, not putting in the time, not listening to the prescription or the methodology, and trying to place blame externally, and so these are just a few thoughts. We'll come back to this subject, obviously, because it's something that comes up periodically, and it's something that I'm pretty clear about and feel pretty strongly about. But oftentimes, students are not connecting to what it is that I'm trying to get across there. So, best wishes, and get back to your practice.